What is up, my beautiful friends? We are back for class number 322. I am Heather Newman, and if you're new here, welcome back to the hashtag Get Unstuck podcast. I've been doing this for many, many years. I am 56 years old. Yesterday, we celebrated my dad's 80th birthday, so usually we drop the class or the podcast, the audio class, on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, but every now and then I'll do a bonus episode, and today I've actually got two classes for you. Class number 322, we're talking about back to you, why fat loss is about more than macros, and I know macros can be a total pain in the ass, I get it. And then also class number 323, that'll be recorded right after this one, and this is about why negative, gossipy people stay stuck, and why it's not your job to save them. Okay, let's talk about today's class. 322, why is fat loss more than just macros? Even though a lot of coaches press about macros. If you're not sure what macros are micronutrients. They are proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. There are also something called micronutrients that break those down into the sugars and all the other things that I don't dive that deep because, hello, who's got time for that, right? So I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I was talking about how I actually started coaching online. It was back in 2017, I think, when I decided I was going to get in the best shape of my life before I was about to turn 50. I remember thinking, I want to see my freaking abs again. Like, where did they go? I haven't seen abs since before I had kids. I want to feel strong again. I want to feel energized. I want to feel like me again. It was a new chapter for me, and naturally people started watching what I was doing because I was talking about it. I mean, they were curious too. They were asking what are you doing and what are you eating and how are you getting those results? And here's the thing. I never intended to actually bring my fitness business online or to build a business per se. There was no plan for that. I was just sharing initially my journey. And my goal was to help maybe inspire just one other person out there to get up, get off the sofa, and move, and just show them that you can do this too. What I was doing, I was sharing my journey of what was working, what I was learning. And I think my Instagram might have been even on private back then. It was very different online back then. So if we go even further back, Glitter U actually started as my YouTube channel back in 2009. I could be off on these years. I'm trying to think as clearly as possible, but that kind of rings a bell because 2009 would have meant that my youngest child was 9 years old. My oldest was 11. That was YouTube back in 2009. And I was talking about my handbags, what's in my bag, makeup. I never did makeup tutorials because I don't claim to be some makeup fashionista person, but I do love style. I love handbags. I love shoes, all the small leather items. Anyway, in 2012, I started a little Facebook swap shop. And it was called Glitter U Swap Shop. We had a Facebook group of over 1,200 women, and I met the most incredible local women in person. We were cleaning out our closets, selling things, repurposing, and it was a community before community was even a buzzword online. So all along, I've always loved to write. So Glitter U also became a little hub, my website, for my blog. And it was my space to do my brain dumps, to think, to process, to get it all out. And I still do that today. I just don't talk about it quite as much because it's not something I do. It's just someone that I am. Fast forward, when I decided to get serious about my body, again, I got certified in nutrition. And honestly, that was for me. I wanted to understand my body. I wanted clarity. And that's when I discovered macros and the flexibility. And if you're ever a part of the bodybuilding world, you know what macros are because you live by them. But that's really what changed everything for me, because for the first time, I didn't feel restricted. I didn't feel like I had to eat perfectly, like I could still have pizza if I wanted. I understood how to eat in a way that actually worked for my life. But here's the truth, and not many people will say it. Most people do not want to track macros. Let's be honest. They'll do it for a few days, maybe a week, and then they're over it because it is a total pain in the ass. And I don't have a curse word podcast. Like, I don't curse a lot, but I have no other way to explain tracking macros other than, yes, I am fully aware it's a pain in the ass. So I slipped too. And that became one of my biggest challenges with coaching, because I knew that macros worked, but I also knew that not everyone wants to live like that forever. So then the real question became, what is your priority? What do you want your body to feel like? What do you want your eating to look like long term? I've always personally been a very, very picky eater. And living in the state of Louisiana, I don't know if you've ever visited here, but food is just part of the culture. So if you go on the West Coast and you go to a restaurant, there are always, always healthy, green, light, high protein options. But down here, down south, the spicier, the better. The more fried catfish you can get on that plate, the better. You know, it's just boiled seafood. Although boiled may sound healthy, there's all these spices and Cajun additives in there that cause a lot of inflammation. And yes, it tastes freaking good. But these are the challenges being a coach in Louisiana specifically. But being a coach online, again, back to me being a picky eater, let's not get off track here. These systems or these structures that I currently implement, that I currently try to share, that I currently share with you and teach you and show you, these systems and structures are the same ones that changed my life. And over time, I started building what is now Inside of Tone. Tone was built in 2020, and everything really evolved from there. We were doing live Zoom call workouts. We were doing video workouts where I would record the workout and then send in your member portal. You log in and you can grab the workout of the day and do it with me on the computer through a video inside of tonein10.com. So today there's two main programs, and then we have our monthly challenge, we used to call it, or our monthly toolkit, our monthly, here's your homework, this is what you do, for the people who just don't want to have to think about anything and maybe aren't real privy to working out, but like something that gets you results that's not too overwhelming or overcomplicated. But anyway, the two main programs inside of Tone is Shred, which is my most intense personal training program. No, I'm not with you, because if you're in the state of Ohio, you can still do this too. If you're in Europe, you can still do this too. You can just grab the program and I am at your disposal. I know when you've gotten it, right? We'll communicate if you want to with your start date, but some people like to do it on their own. Some people don't want me to contact them. They just want to grab the program and figure it out. That would be me. That's the kind of person I am. So I have done other coaches' training programs. Of course I have. Sometimes I love to be the student, but it also shows me the things that I love, the things that I don't love, that I can implement inside a Tone. So Shred is my most intense training. If you want to shred, give me 7 to 14 days on the Shred program, and I guarantee you will get results and be strong and start to see your abs. Yep. The other part is Tone Nutrition, and that's really what we were talking about today. That's the one I don't talk about enough, but I should, because it's not just about tracking. It's about learning how to eat with consistency, clarity, control. Yes, there's a little bit of tracking involved, but I teach you how to use MyFitnessPal or whatever app you want to use. You can pick. There's a million of them out there now, but it used to just be MyFitnessPal, but now there's a million. But you can't get off track. You've got to keep your eyes on your own paper, because once you get inside of one of those apps, you can be like, oh, look, I can start tracking this and I can use this recipe. And sometimes those recipes are not going to help you. They might be helping somebody else. But anyway, it's structured, it's educational, it's sustainable, it's a self-led framework, and you'll learn it once and you'll have it forever. And here's the bigger picture, because fat loss, it's not just about the macros. It's about your metabolism, your hormones, your stress, your sleep, and your behaviors. And speaking about my sleep, I'm probably going to dive in the next couple of weeks here on my Aura ring. I'll share with you my results and what I'm thinking about the ring. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that this was my story and why it matters. I started a personal journey in 2017, and I wanted to get in the best shape of my life before I was turning 50. I am 56 today. I will be 57 in the summer. And I wanted to see my abs again. I wanted to feel strong again. And at the time, like I said, I wasn't building a business. I was just sharing what I was doing, what I was eating, what was working, what I was learning. And the women started hanging out with me and paying attention online. And that is freaking amazing. I just want you to know that this comes back to you. This comes back to, do you want to try and see your abs again? Do you want to feel stronger? Do you want to feel like you've got good energy every day? That whole, you are what you eat, that is for real. Think about what you ate yesterday is probably what you're paying the price for today. So I know I want to feel like me again. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. I mentioned that. I did eat some onion rings. And when I tell you last night, my stomach was like, what did you feed me? They were so good. Not going to lie, they were so good. But I paid a price. So I know if I'm going to have onion rings, I'm going to pay the price. So this morning I woke up, put that behind me. I'm not going to beat myself up. I took my probiotic. I took my little NAD. You can get all of this at glitteru.com/stack. That's the new supplements I'm taking right now. If you hear me talking about them, I'm still taking everything at glitteru.com/RX. That is my skinny shake. I don't do it every day now. I used to. I got a little burnout. I'm not going to lie. But it gives me all the nutrients that I need. So I know when my body's depleted, like I'll probably have that in a bowl tonight for dinner. I like to plan ahead my whole day. Anyway, I share some of that on my Instagram stories at glitteru. Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to cut this off now because I've been chatting for 13 minutes, and that's really my golden number is 13. So follow me at on any of the main platforms, and I'm going to go record class number 323 right now. So I'm going to put them both live at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And class 323, stay with me. We're going to talk about why negative, gossipy people stay stuck and how it's not your job to save them. I love you so much. Talk to you next time. Bye.